Hello everybody and welcome to Modular Doings. Now firstly, before I go anywhere, hats off to people who do this more than I do obviously. This is probably me, I don't know what take this is, 10th one. Boy is it difficult, and I'm not even on camera, I'm just talking to a microphone. Anyway, here we go again. A couple of weeks ago I released a video which was called VCV Rack Generative Music Offa's Winter. And in the comments, Lazy Pixel said, why didn't you do a tutorial of that? People might be interested in how you did it. I thought, I've never thought of that before. Why not? What could possibly go wrong? Well, everything, as I've already proved in the last 9 or so videos that I've tried to record. Anyway, moving on. First things first, a slurp of tea. That's nice. That'd be interesting. I don't know if you can say Yorkshire tea on these videos. Anyway, I won't then. So, moving on swiftly. What have we got? Well, in that video that they released, if I just move these around a bit, this was the main unit module that I used. All of these, obviously. But this is what I was after. It was something to emulate the human voice. And I came across this. It's a vowel emulator. It will emulate the A-E-I-O-U, the A-E-I-O-U sounds. So I thought I'd give it a go. You've got vocal ranges, which is great. You've got your basses and your tenors and your counter tenors, etc., etc., etc. And lots of inputs and outputs. So I thought I'll give it a shot. Now, this is my go-to sequencer at the moment. This is the JW Modules Note sequencer. I love it because you can basically set it to be absolutely random. It will never repeat what it plays ever again. It just goes on and on and on playing random because I've set it to random here. You can also, by using these CV inputs, set the trigger and up and down and right and left all to random as well. To be clocked. Different clock speeds, which means even more randomness. How amazing is that? So let's just first of all hook this up as I like to. Now, just a heads up. When I say tutorial, I don't mean an in-depth, very knowledgeable tutorial, mostly because I haven't got a clue what I'm doing half the time. I've only been playing with VCV Rack properly for about 6 months. I've had it a lot longer. I just couldn't get a peep out of it when I first got it. I had no idea how modular worked. I then went back to the hardware. I've got myself a Moog Mother 32. Which has got a hardwired synth, which just plays out the box, great. But it's got the patch bay, which allowed me to learn a little bit about patching. And obviously a lot of online stuff, watching people and trying to figure stuff out. I then came back to VCV Rack, and it made a little bit more sense. Not a lot, one could say. I'm still struggling with it, but I'm getting there. So what does our little friend here do? Well, obviously you can set the amount of notes that you play. You can also do this manually if you so desire. You have the ability to set the note and the scale, so you can set your scale. You can play with the octaves up, down, etc., etc. You can set the highest note played, and you can set the lowest note played. Let me just set that to 0. You also have, I think, a 16 volt per octave and gate outputs, which means, as in this case, you can trigger up to 16 devices. You can set up polyphonic outputs, and mono if you so desire. You can create chords. It is a built-in sequencer. It's amazing what it can do. So let me just see then. I'm not going to go into detail of what it did because, as I say, a lot of it was just plug and play and see what happens. I'm going to attempt now to see if I can remember how I set this up. I'm guessing I did something like, is this right? Let me just turn that up a minute. Something to trigger these. I do that quite a lot where I, for some reason, don't manage to quite get it into place. Anyway, trigger the amplitude with a low frequency oscillator. I'll use another one just to give me a little bit of wobble on the voice if you like. Just sort of take it away from the straight notes, which you will understand in a minute when I play. What's gone? Why is it not playing? I've got it turned on. Technical problem. Forgot to turn the volume up. There we go. I hope you can hear that. Now, on its own, not overly impressive. Granted, I'm not running the secrets at the moment, so let's turn that on. There you go. Again, not overly impressive, but if you add in a bit of reverb, which we love, and then drop the octave, because it is in theory a bass note, bass voice, listen to the next one. And finally that. Now, does that not sound a little bit more voice-like? Amazing, eh? I haven't hooked up the analyzer. I like to have an analyzer hooked up, basically because I've got a visual representation of what's going on. So let's just see if I can get that to fluctuate. The idea was that using the LFO, it would fade in and out a bit more, but it's not doing as I expected. I must have played with it differently, I guess. Anyway, it doesn't matter. You get the idea. I had 6 of these playing, and I had them all set to tenors and sopranos and various other... You can hear the voices there. That's pretty good. Nice. So I played with them, I set them to the different vocal ranges, and I then used a manual on and off to kind of turn them on and off when I felt like it. It's quite a handy little device, that. Again, not 100% sure how and why, but I know it works and I liked what it was doing. So I then set up 6 of them. Now the question is, can I find that one? 15, I think. Here we go. Let's have a look. Now I just need to change this, otherwise you'll hear absolutely zilch. Right, let me just see. I'm going to zoom out a bit. There we go. Now you can see 6 voices running off 3 sequences. But using the Volt per Octave outputs, I could control each one independently, even though it's running the same sequence. Let's just turn them on and see how things go. There you go. So that's how I set those up. And there's one of my new finds of this last month. The unmute button, giant button. It's brilliant. It used to be diving in for this button if you desperately need to turn it off when all hell broke loose, because I'd created some crazy patch that had just gone bonkers. And this is great. You just hit the button and there it is, done, stopped. Saves your ears, and you can then reset everything up and off you go again. You can see how the LFOs are bringing in and out. I think it's the LFOs doing that, affecting the amplitude. Help to create the illusion of width and depth by weaving sounds in and out. Very nice. Now, seeing as you've got this far, assuming you're still here and listening, I'm going to give you a sneak peek. Let me just set this again. Correct. I'm hoping. I hope it's not too loud. Let's take it down a little bit just in case. Right, this is something I'm working on at the moment. It's a sneak peek, something to come. I don't know when it's going to be released. I haven't finished it yet, but here we go. A sneak peek. Something to look forward to, hopefully. Anyway, thanks for joining me so far up to this point. If you like and consider subscribing, that'd be much, much appreciated. You can make comments as well. Be kind if you can, otherwise be somewhere else. And until the next time, I'm going to go make some more noise.